Hi, I'm Evie Kimsing, editor of Identity.net. This morning I'm going to be speaking to Vyacheslav Toporov, who's the Senior Project Manager at ICMPD, which is the International Centre for Migration Policy Development. One of the agencies which is really looking into border management, integrated border management, and fighting the rise of document fraud. So we're going to be speaking ahead of Identity Week Europe in June, which returns then. I hope to see you there. It's the first time that we've met. Please, could you tell us about your role within, what projects do you work on specifically around the Ukraine border management project?
Yes, so I'm actually the project manager for the biggest project that ICMPD implements within Ukraine and for Ukraine. This is EU for IBM Resilience, EU for supporting integrated border management in Ukraine resilience. And as the name suggests, we actually support the resilience of Ukrainian border management agencies in the context of war. The project was started at the end of 2022. And since then, we've been building the capacity both through the investment into equipment and the capacity, the human capacity, the skills of state border guards service and state custom service officers in order for them to be able to fulfill their functions and to support them in these hard times.
Absolutely. And could you share any updates on how it will enhance technical capabilities at the EU-Ukraine border crossing points, in reference to obviously your specialized training of trainers program for X-ray border scanner operations?
Well, the training of trainers, which took place in Lviv recently, that you're referring to, I guess, is can be called is just a small, albeit important part of much bigger, much larger intervention. You have to remember that at the beginning of the war, when Ukraine's Black Sea ports were blocked by the aggressor, the land borders became the lifeline for the country's economy. And our project, funded by the European Union, actually invested around 8 million euros into helping make that this lifeline stays open and unclogged. What we did, we actually contributed to building a non-intrusive inspection ecosystem in Ukraine. We deployed advanced advanced mobile scanners at three major border crossing points. We also some similar scanners which were deployed by in other projects were also based on the approach that we suggested. We added to this scanner operator image analysis courses for each scanner and a 5-day maintenance service training from the supplier, which will help maintain those scanners in good condition longer. We installed 10 automated weighing systems with number plate recognition to speed up processing and feed data for the analysis in real time. Another big challenge was the power outages caused by the attacks on the Ukrainian energy infrastructure. And in the context of this scanner ecosystem, we wanted to prevent disruption mid-scan. So we installed uninterruptible power supplies as stationary scanners, allowing them to safely switch to generators, and like this save about 30 minutes of downtime each time when there's an outage. For these older stationary scanners, we also did a comprehensive assessment to identify future needs and required upgrades. We did some immediate on-site improvements to the image quality, but also provided detailed report and methodology to guide further modernization of these scanners in future. And the training in Lviv you mentioned is actually a pinnacle of a series of another image interpretation training that we've done for the stationary scanner operators. We train over 80 customs officers through very hands-on courses combined with some peer exchange. And this work culminated in a training of trainer sessions to ensure that further sustainable knowledge transfer once the project is gone. Finally, since scanning 100% of the cargo is not feasible or nor efficient, we are working to strengthen the risk analysis. So we've held online and in-person workshops and exchanges to strengthen profiling methods, to improve targeting of high-risk commodities, and refine selection for in-depth control. So within this resilience project, we have tried to both train people and to help them equip them with technologies to manage this massive shift of trade volumes that happened under the wartime pressure.
That's amazing. And how do you see the balance evolving between obviously the advanced technological tools and human skills in border management?
I think that at least at this stage of our development, advanced technological tools and personnel skills exist in a kind of symbiosis that is a mutually dependent relationship where different elements, and in our case, human expertise and advanced technologies, function together to create a result that neither could achieve on its own. Technologies like our X-ray scanners provide sharper eyes, so to say, but it is the officer who needs to make a confident decision. And human expertise also remains indispensable to detect, for instance, a traveler under duress or just a cargo manifest that does not feel right. With wider introduction of more and more sophisticated and more trustworthy AI-based technologies, we expect that AI will play a bigger role in the future. But the reality today is that there are high costs and there's also technical reliability that are still major barriers. And in many regions, like in Ukraine, for instance, a well-trained officer with a reliable scanner is and will be for some time the most effective system one can have. So we are moving towards a smarter border, if you allow, where the boring, repetitive, time and resource-intensive tasks like weighing trucks or controlling their content are automated and made the less intrusive possible. But this frees up, thanks to this, it frees up the human expertise for what really is important, what really matters: evidence-based risk management and decision making. And our goal is to make sure that the officer at the border has the confidence to act in these situations and act fast. And as I mentioned, our project name suggests that we're aiming at a higher resilience of border management in Ukraine. And resilience, I would say, isn't a feature of a machine, it's a feature of the people, right? And by investing in methodologies, recommendations, skills, this kind of pool of trainers, ICMPD is ensuring that when the project ends, our partner institutions in Ukraine have the internal strengths to keep evolving and developing. And that's what I would call a real human-centered approach. Building a system that is strong enough to properly function during a war and is sophisticated enough to help the country who is on its path to join the European Union in some foreseeable future.
Absolutely, and the stakes couldn't really be higher at the moment. But how important then, in this context of everything that's going on, is the triangle of agencies that you work with and cooperate with to fight identity fraud, organized crime, and everything you deal with as an agency?
So we, as a project, mostly work with the border guards and the customs in Ukraine, and counteracting fraud is obviously one of the main areas where we try to invest into human capacity and also the technological capacity. Um, Ukraine represents probably a unique case where for instance, the bodyguards have a dual role where they both guard and ensure the fluidity across the so-called peaceful border with the EU countries and Moldova. And they're also defending the country on the front line against the aggressor. And we are helping them keep their work and proper function on this peaceful border with the EU, which has become, as I mentioned, a lifeline to Ukraine's economy and a major humanitarian corridor for people fleeing the war. So it is kind of a unique situation. And it is very difficult to apply some kind of external framework to this situation because of its uniqueness. But in any case, I would say that at ICMPD, we understand and adhere to the approach that that security cannot be imported. We cannot just copy paste a system from one country to another because it simply doesn't work. And while our task as an organization is definitely to bring in international best practices, methodologies, to make work the cooperation that we have with different agencies like Frontex, for instance. But we also understand and focus on the fact that our final product should grow within and belong to the local agency. If they don't own it, it will not be sustainable. It simply will not work. If you think that investing into something into fraud prevention, into security, is just buying expensive scanners or other gadgets, it is not true because, as we all know, a machine is only as good as the person using it, at least for the time being. And therefore, we put a massive focus on capacity development, which helps us to fight fraud. We develop tailored curricula for trainings. We train the trainer. We create pools of master trainers, not only in Ukraine but in other countries like Pakistan, Iraq, or Ghana, for these trainers to be able to pass on expertise on behavioral analysis or document security to their peers. Obviously, as an organization, we cannot cover every single officer in every single agency working at the border in every single country we're active. So this is very important. We use the equipment as an enabler. We do procure equipment and use it as an enabler. We modernize the environment in which officers work, in which they study and learn new things, and also in which they fulfill their duties. And finally, we help those agencies we work with to formalize their processes as standard operating procedures. Which ensures that these skills that we try to pass on or to nurture within an agency become a long-term institutional habit, again, lasting beyond the lifetime of a project. At the end of the day, a professional border is a faster border, and when an officer is well trained, including to detect possible document fraud, they can spot this a fraudster much quickly, which also means that legitimate traveler, like a family on vacation or just a businessman, get through much faster. And we want an officer who is sharp enough to stop a malefactor, but professional enough to treat every traveler or migrant with dignity, with understanding, So it's about building a culture of smart security rather than hard security, and that's the approach that we have. We of course raise awareness on cybersecurity, on all kinds of cross-border crimes, but we also integrate a lot the dimension of human rights. This is very important for the organization. The gender-sensitive perspectives. We want officers not to, only to be able to spot a forged visa or another document, but also to be skilled in effective and ethical interviewing. And we've seen this work done in very challenging environments lately, places again like Iraq or Lebanon or Bangladesh or Cote d'Ivoire. And across our activities, we follow a do no harm principle. So we want the border to be a professional and human-centric service, which is grounded on evidence-based security.
Wow, that's a lot of information, but I think you are definitely supporting borders, and I like the point that, it's the solution's not the same everywhere, even though we've got a lot of the same technology. Human personnel is extremely important in managing that at the moment before AI takes over. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to really speak to you in June, really face to face about some of these topics and how they're progressing.
Thank you, Avi. Thank you for your interest and thank you for your invitation.